As with anything in technology, you should probably create a good backup, and this includes your Klipper install on your 3D printer. Hello everyone, Chris here. Don't be like me and allow future Chris to handle all the problems for you. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to show a feature in Klipper or implement something and I couldn't find the correct Raspberry Pi or the SD card that I'd used before. Now, this isn't going to be a problem for most of you. You have one Pi dedicated to a printer or maybe one to multiples, but you're going to know where that configuration is because it's probably in use. But I could have saved myself a lot of time just by running a couple of commands, and it really is that easy if you know how. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. So it's always a good idea to make a backup of your configuration, but if it's automated for you and you don't have to worry about it, even better. And with these methods that I'm going to show you, it even allows you to share that configuration with others if they'd like to try it out. So let's jump right in. I'll show you the different ways to back up your installation, so hopefully it saves future you time. Here we go. So for today's video, we're going to talk about backups, but I just want to get a lay of the land here. This is a completely brand new install of Klipper that I did just for this. There is no printer associated with it, but you can see we're getting an error about printer.cfg. We'll want to talk about that as far as backups goes. If you ever want to just grab a configuration file, in Mainsail, if you go to Machine and then look up here at the directory, you have config, but you also have config examples. That's where all the config example files are going to be. There's lots of them, 220 at this time. I'm just going to grab one here. You can right click and download, or you can copy it, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to download it and I'm going to keep it so I can keep things a bit consistent. But the easiest way, you could probably just open it up. Let's just say this configuration. I'm going to Control A and then Control C to select all and then copy, and I'll close that. And then I'm going to go to my main config directory. I'm just going to create a new file. Create file, printer.cfg. And then open that up. And we'll paste it in there. I'm just going to save and close. Remember, I don't have a printer hooked up to this. So now we have at least a printer.cfg file that's valid. So the first method, this is just bare minimum what you can do to save your configuration without having to go through a whole bunch of steps, but you do have to mind it yourself. But in Mainsail, it works similarly in Fluid. I enjoy Mainsail more, but you can just select all. You can also view the number of files. You can view them all at once if you'd like. I only have 6 right at the moment, but you can just download them. That is going to create a zip file, and we're just going to keep it. But that will create a zip with all of your configurations in it. There it is right there. You should be good. You have a snapshot of the configuration for your printer. Easy enough, video done. No, there's more. So for most people, that's going to work, especially if you don't make a lot of changes to your printer configuration. You don't have to remember to make that backup. Just make that after your install is complete or right before an update, and you should be good to go. But if we want a more automated solution, there is one out there, and we'll jump into Putty because we do have to run some commands to get this installed. But let's go ahead and take a look at the project as well. And here we are at the Klipper Backup wiki. This is a utility. It's a set of scripts that you can use to mine the backup of those configuration files. And it allows you to copy those files over to GitHub, create a repo out of them so that you can save them and share them with whoever you wish. Now the install is pretty straightforward, but there is a few ins and outs with GitHub getting the correct key so that you can allow it to copy those up to the web. Remember, never do this if there's something that you don't want to share, but these configurations will not include IP addresses or passwords, usernames, things like that. So it's relatively safe to share this information. But I will share a link to this page. You can go through here and see what it actually updates or backs up. Macros are very important with Klipper. If you spend a lot of time building one, you definitely want to back up one of those. But it also creates a constant version of printer.cfg. It constantly backs it up if you make changes, so in case something goes bad, you can revert to it. So let's just jump into the configuration and the install, and I'll show you how it all works. So to get the full use out of this utility, you're going to need a GitHub account. Now, they are free. And anyone up front that is worried about my security or sharing tokens on the internet during this video, don't worry, all this gets deleted after the video is made, so it shouldn't be any problem. But it's fairly easy to create a GitHub account. You can sign up. All you pretty much need is an email, create a password, and then create a username. Again, we're just going to enter some stuff in here for the video. So I have my Chris test account, all that good stuff. So we've got our email, our password, our username. You will need to keep track of some of this, just you know your information, but our username will be ChrisTest3D. So let's continue. We'll work the puzzle here, and then they will email you a code that you have to enter to verify. Once that's done, we can go ahead and sign in with our new creds. From here, this is the screen you come into, the home screen when you don't have any repos. You can just create a repo or repository right from the screen. We are going to make it public so that we can access it with the key, but also others can access it if they'd like. So let's just create repository from up here. We're going to call this test Klipper Backup. You can put in a description if you like, how you'd like it to be seen. We do want to add git ignore. I'll explain that a little bit, but that's going to be done with the script. So you don't need to do any of this. Just go ahead and take the defaults and we'll create the repository. So we haven't made any commits, so this is normal. We're good for now, but we will need a key. So from here, we need to generate that key. Go up to your icon here. We're going to click that and go down to settings. Now from the settings page, scroll all the way down here on the left, and we're going to go to developer settings. This key allows you to interact with this repo via the script or your Klipper install ultimately. But we're going to go to personal access tokens and we're going to select tokens classic. In the middle here, we'll generate new token. Again, we're going to generate new token classic. In here, you can put a note what the token is for. We're just going to say it's for Klipper Backup. You can set the expiration if you like. I usually only like to deal with these once a year, so I'll plug in whatever the date is plus a year. So let's go 2026. And then you need to select what privileges this key will have for your repo. And you're going to need to allow all the repo settings. So we'll just click this box. We're going to need to be able to write packages. That should include read and delete packages. That should be everything that the script needs to do its backups. So when you're happy with that, you can scroll down and generate token. Now this token, you cannot retrieve it after this step. So you need to copy and paste this somewhere for safekeeping. There is no way to come back in here and get this token without generating a new one. So just keep that in mind. I'm just going to go to Notepad++ for now and save that token for use in this video. Now we have everything we need to go ahead and start our Klipper Backup install. So we'll head to Putty. On the Klipper Backup site, they give you these two commands, and this is pretty much everything you need to start the install. There is a wizard that walks you through everything. You just need to make sure you understand what you're punching in. But we can copy both of these lines, head back to Putty, and we'll just paste them in. Remember, this is a fresh install. So a cloned Klipper Backup from GitHub, you will need your sudo password, whatever you set that to be when you created this image. And then it's going to go through and install everything you need, and then it will have some questions. So after it does some install, it's going to ask you if you want to proceed. Default is yes, so we can just hit enter. Do you want to proceed with configuring the klipperbackup.env, the environment we need to install this? So yes, we do. Default is if you hit enter, and here is where you enter your GitHub token. This is what's going to allow it to write to GitHub. So I've got my token over here in Notepad++. I'm going to Control-C to copy it. Go back to Putty, and you can right-click if you're using Putty to paste it in. Then you need your GitHub username. That token When it reads it in, it should know what your username is. Ours is ChrisTest3D, so we'll hit enter. One is highlighted to confirm. We'll hit enter again. And then you can enter your repo name. We completed our token install, so you can come up here to the hamburger, as they call it, and go home. And then you can see your repos, but our repo name is that test Klipper Backup. So we can go back to PuTTY, test Klipper Backup. And enter to confirm. Branch, most of the time you just want this installed on the main branch. Now, you can create multiple branches if you have multiple versions. It's not going to be super useful for this backup type of install, so just go with main. You probably will never have to branch out. And enter to confirm. The commit username, usually when we do our installs for Klipper, we only have one user dedicated. It could be a different one other than Pi, but if you're using a Raspberry Pi, that's very common. Mine is, so we're going to go with default. This just has to do with permissions, so we'll hit enter and confirm. Desired email, whatever email you'd like to use so that it can talk to you if it needs to about backup status. Go ahead and put one in there that is valid. I suggest you do that. And hit enter. And we'll confirm. Would you like to add Klipper Backup to the update manager? So this puts it in the list on the front end in Mainsail as something that can be updated by a click button. I recommend you do it. So default is yes. We'll hit enter, and it's going to add it to the update manager. File watch service. This triggers a backup if something is changed in one of the config files. This is what makes it super useful in my opinion, so I want to leave that on. So we'll hit enter because default is yes. Next, it's going to ask you if you'd like to install the on boot backup service. So if the Pi kicks over, it's going to snap another backup. That's fine with me. We'll hit yes. And then it's going to ask you about a cron task. So cron is the scheduler in Linux. So it's automatically going to take a backup every 4 hours. These backups are very, very small. And you'll see here in a moment, it doesn't include large files that you've zipped up or different things like that. So it's probably fine to go ahead and take that backup. All of it is going on to GitHub. I'm going to allow it and just hit yes. And the installation is complete. Now there's a few things that we can go over and a different way that you can do this. So we'll jump into it just a little bit deeper. So the install is complete. If you just do an ls, you can see there is now a Klipper backup directory. Let's just cd into Klipper-backup. And if you do an ls here, you can see there's a couple of directories and a couple of files. We want to take a look at the .env file, so I can show you how some of this is configured manually, in case you wanted to do that. That's considered a hidden directory if it has a dot in front of it, so you can't see it with the normal ls command. If you do an ls-als, these are my preferred list of options for listing. Then you can see the ones with the dot in front of them, the ones that are hidden. I'm interested in this file. So if we just do a nano.env, we can take a look at what's in here. So that's going to give us a recap of the things that we entered. Remember, this token, it's okay for me to show it to you because it's not going to exist for very long. But here you can manually update those things that we did in the install and reboot to have it pick up or reset the service. But if you'd like to do things manually, this is the config file for you. Here at the bottom, remember I said about that git ignore, you can see it right here. These are the things that will not get sent to GitHub. So it's included a list of all the things that with the file extensions that won't get backed up. So the printer.cfg with any number after it, that means you have a utility that's creating multiple versions of printer.cfg. You're already backing it up with this utility, so you don't need all those additional backup versions. So that's going to exclude that, as well as anything that's zipped or CSV files that you might not need in the backup. If you want to include some of these, just update the comments here, or add it to the list if you'd like. So just a little bit more information, how you can control your Klipper backup configuration. I'm good with all this, so I'm just going to Control X for now to get out of it. Now let's go to the front end and I'll show you how this Klipper Backup is going to work. So here's our main sail config with all of our files. Keep in mind that there's a .zip file here and you have your printer.cfg. Just remember that because of the settings that we just talked about. But let's head over to GitHub where the backups are going to be sent. And I'm just going to do a refresh on our test Klipper Backup repo. When you do a refresh, you can see that there has been a deploy done to this repo and the files are here. It keeps track of the README and the git ignore what's going on there, but your files are going to be in printer_data configuration. So here's your config files, but notice that .zip file and a few of the other ones are not here, and they were updated on the install 4 minutes ago. Now, what happens when you make an update to these files? Well, Klipper Backup takes care of that for you. Let's just go in to printer.cfg. This is the one that you're going to update most commonly. Let's just add a comment. This will count as a backup. And we're just going to call the comment Klipper Backup. And then if we do save and close, that's going to trigger Klipper Backup. So we just did this 4 minutes ago. We updated this one just now. If we go to the repo, you can see the printer.cfg has a version now. And you can take a look at what's in there from here. There is our update. So it automatically pushes these updates over to GitHub, and anyone that you send a link to can look at these configurations. Now these are public, they could browse to it, it's probably not likely. Just keep that in mind, what information you put in here. You don't want to share anything that's secure, but you can at least share your configuration with friends if they want to see how you did it. So a very handy tool. Now with that cron, it's going to back it up automatically every 4 hours. It's going to trigger the backup when any file changes, as you saw, and it will create a backup on boot. So it should keep everything nice and up to date. Now there's only one more thing. If you're using the Kiauh script, this Klipper Backup option is included in there as well as a menu option. So it's even easier to add the Klipper Backup install. So here in the Kiauh tool, if you've used this for your install, or even if you didn't, you could go ahead and install Kiauh just to use the backup features. But there is a remedial backup type feature in here. You can just do a 5. You see it up there in the menu. And this is going to allow you to back things up to a file system on your Raspberry Pi. If you're super tricky and you have things copying off your Pi, maybe onto a NAS device or out there on the web, you could go ahead and do this. That would get all of your configurations if you wanted to do. Not a bad idea. But if we just do B to go back, you can do E for extensions right here. And Klipper Backup is included in this menu, number 4 right at the moment. If you do a 4, that's going to trigger the same script. Let's just do install. It's the same script that you saw before. It's going to run through it again and allow you to use that wizard to configure your backup. So it's not a huge time saver, but if you're doing the Kiauh install, just know it is there in the extension section if you want to use it. We'll just hit no for now. But there is everything I know about how to back up Klipper, how to do it easily, just to save you a lot of headache for the future. So there you go, Klipper Backup. This is something, in my opinion, everyone running Klipper should be doing. If not just to back up your installs so you could use it later, it keeps track of all the changes you make as you add features. As you get your printer running better and better, you're going to have a tracking of what happened during all of those changes, because that's what GitHub does the best. You can go back in time and see what happened on all those changes. Also, if nothing for the fact that you could share your configuration with others if you wanted to help them out in their Klipper journey. So, hopefully you found this helpful. That's it for today, and I'll see you really soon on the next one.